Has this ever happened to you where you really wanted to do something but you didn't end up doing it just because you were worried about other people's opinions? Or are you someone who constantly ends up doing other people's work just to make them happy even though you didn't want to do it in the first place? If you find yourself constantly sacrificing yourself just to please others, or if you're someone who's always worried about other people's opinions about you, then this video is for you. Hey, it's Mark Talukdar and welcome to MTC Ed, where we discuss practical tools and techniques to help you live a productive, balanced, and meaningful life. Number 3 on the series, 8 Habits for a Successful and Happy Life. And the topic for today is, stop being a people pleaser. In today's episode, we will not only explore the reasons why we tend to be people pleasers, but also discuss 3 techniques that you can start applying immediately to regain control of your life. And because this is such an important topic, I want you to stick to the end of the episode, where I'm going to share a bonus tip with you that helped me immensely in my own journey. So without further ado, here are my top 3 techniques. Technique number 1, buy yourself some time. I don't know if you can relate to this, but one of my biggest weaknesses when I was dealing with this problem years ago was that when someone approached me to do something for them, I felt like I had no choice but to say yes. In my mind, I always knew that all I had to do was say no. But for some reason, the stress and the pressure of those moments always got to me. I would later be so mad at myself, thinking I could have said this, I could have said that. But for some reason, I could never find the right words when I was in those situations. It took me a long time to come up with some strategies that would help me get out of the situations. And that's what I'm sharing with you here today. The next time someone comes up to you and puts you on the spot with a request, just say the magic 8 words. Let me get back to you on that. Most people will actually back off when you say those words to them, and it'll give you a little bit extra time to evaluate their request. But from time to time, you will run into stubborn people, forceful people, people who might say things like, I don't have time to wait around for you, just let me know now if you want to do this or not. You might even run into extremely manipulative people who might say things like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this if you don't help me. You are so much better at this than me. Any of that sound familiar? No matter how much they push you, don't fall for it. Follow up with something like, I really don't know. I got to look at my calendar. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing something at that time. You can also say something like, I have to check with my partner, my husband, my wife, whoever. Just find a way so that you don't feel forced to give an answer right then and there. See, research shows that even a slight pause before making a decision can vastly improve the accuracy of the decision that you're making. So find a way to buy yourself some extra time so that you don't feel pressured to say yes in that very moment. Technique number 2, stop making excuses. Once you have successfully warded off a few requests using the first technique, it's time for you to advance to a second one. See, a lot of times when people approach us with things that they want us to do for them and we don't want to do it, we end up saying things like, I can't do it because of this or that, right? And when we say that, we hope that the other person understands our predicament, reads in between the line, and backs off because they figure out we're not interested. But more often than not, the I can't do it phrase is followed up by, well, why not? And then you're put in an awkward situation where you have to explain to that person why whatever you are doing is more important than whatever they're asking off of you. But you see, that's where the problem lies. When you say something like, I can't do it because of this or that, you're implying that you probably would have done it for them had you not had this other thing to do. You are not giving a clear message to the person that you don't want to do this, period. So in those situations when the person is not getting the message, instead of saying, I can't, just replace it with, I don't. I don't want to go to happy hour today. I don't want to work late today. Now, if you're thinking that's a little harsh or a little rude, you know you have a problem. Because even though someone else is pushing you to do something that you don't want to do, you think that standing up for yourself is harsh and rude. How crazy is that? Also, a study done by Boston College and the University of Houston shows that by simply replacing the word can't with don't, we convey a much stronger message to others and ourselves. But before we move on to the third technique, let's take a minute and be honest with yourself. Have you ever wondered why you continue to allow yourself to do things for others when you really don't want to do them? One of the reasons could be is because you have built up this image of yourself in your mind where you think you're a good person, a generous person, someone who cares about others, a team player. And you're saying these things to yourself over and over again. And that's making you feel as if you decline someone's request or if you said no to something, then somehow that would make you a horrible, uncaring person. You feel that you have to continue to do things for others just to be able to feel loved and appreciated. But that's not right. And that's not true. Believe me when I tell you this, that you will never be able to please your way into happiness or acceptance. You can actually garner a lot more respect from others by letting them know what your boundaries are and that you don't want them to be crossed. Please, stop giving so much power to others over your life. Technique number 3, empower yourself by saying no. I understand that it's not possible to live life in a way so that you only get to do the things that you want to do and ignore everything and everybody else. Living in a society, being part of a team, requires a give and take relationship. But you also have to understand that it's give and take. So if you find yourself in a position where you're constantly giving and not receiving anything in return, then it's obvious why you feel like that you're being taken advantage of. So my final technique for you is just start saying no. Start saying no to dates, projects, favors that you don't want to do. Stop being so dependent on the opinions of others and just start living your life on your own terms. Okay, if you have made it this far in the video, I have a bonus tip for you. If you feel that you are still not ready to use your don'ts and your no's, then do this instead. Start saying, I have a rule about this. Here's what I mean. If a coworker asks you out on a date and you don't have the heart to say no, just say, I have a rule about not dating coworkers. If your boss gives you a project to work on over the weekend, just say, I have a rule of not working over the weekends. I want to spend time with my family. You will see that a lot of people will back off when you use the rule technique. Remember, the more time you spend doing the things that you want to do, the more happier and fulfilled you are going to be. By the way, if you found this video to be useful, please share it with others. Click the like button, click the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to my channel, and click the bell notification icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video like this. Also, comment below and let me know what is your experience with saying no or not being able to say no. I read every single comment that is posted on my channel and I reply to all of those. So I can't wait to communicate with you through that. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Until then, be kind to yourself. I am Talukdar and I build people.